All right. Now, all right. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome. And Larry here from Larry's Fountain Pen Reviews. And today we have on a special guest, a very cool friend, an artist, a pen enthusiast, a diver. You name it, he does it. Also does woodwork. I guess he does all of it. So anyway, Craig, welcome to the jungle. And tell us a little bit about what you do, my friend.
I do a lot. I'm a marine archaeologist, do underwater archaeology work, which is basically your underwater glorified construction worker. I do artwork, and that's how I got into it, because nobody's going to hire you if you're just a diver. So you have to be able to wear many hats, no pun intended. But everything has to be videotaped, illustrated, and a lot of documentation. And so I have to be able to draw maps, and draw the artifacts have to be illustrated. And that's how one reason I got into archaeology was doing artwork. And people ask me, how does fountain pens, what's that got to do with archaeology? I tell them it's got everything to do with archaeology. Most people say fountain pens are a hobby. Well, for me, it's a way of life. I have to have fountain pens. I have to have many colors of ink to do the maps and the illustrations for work. And it's necessity. I tried it with art pens. I tried it with roller balls. I tried it with colored pencils, everything. I tried it with watercolors, and it's not the same. And I've been using fountain pens. I started when I started in the third grade, and just never looked back after that.
So when was it you actually? How did you get started on painting?
I come from a long line of artists. My mother was an artist. My grandmother was an artist. My cousin's an artist, and here I am. When I was 3 years old, my grandmother, she did oil paintings.
Right.
And she had an easel, and I was on the hardwood floor under her easel, 3 years old, coloring. And she's sitting on a stool doing an oil painting. And she saw how I was scrubbing the crayon. And she said, "Come here," and picked me up, put me on her lap. She held my hand in hers with a paintbrush and did a little bit on that painting. Because I was using the same stroke with the crayon, I was mimicking her. And she said, basically, "Come here." And literally, she took me that day at 3 years old from crayons to paintbrush. And no, I didn't start doing artwork then, but she helped me, started doing painting. And I pretty much gave up the crayons. I mean, crayons, you just scrub with them. That's it.
But you started.
And to this day, a small paintbrush or a fountain pen, I usually, when I'm drawing, I use the same pulling stroke motion. That's it.
Okay.
But I've incorporated that into different types of work, like archaeology, and I have to draw out plans for woodworking and come up with designs and whatever, come up with designs for making pens or whatever it is. But I write. What I'm trying to do is bridge the gap and show people you can do more with fountain pens and fountain pen ink than just write.
Okay.
The sky's the limit. Just be creative.
So you also do woodwork, correct?
I do. I have a full woodworking shop at the other end of this building.
How did you get into that?
My father was a furniture upholsterer, and he wouldn't teach me how to upholster furniture. He wanted something better for me, and I wish he had, but he didn't. But he also refinished wood furniture and tables and stuff like that. And my brother got into welding and steel fabrication, and I got into the woodworking. And I've had a passion for woodworking. I've had a passion for the ocean and history and art. And it's great to be able, I'm very fortunate to be able to make a living off of it.
Okay.
But you have to be versatile. You have to do more than just one thing. And just like archaeology, I can draw, so I have to draw maps and draw the artifacts. You have to incorporate that.
Okay. Tell me real quick, do you have favorite ink colors?
I like personally for writing medium brown, and I like very dark red, almost like a blood red or a burgundy. Those are my, if I had to pick two favorite colors, that would be it.
How about the noodlers? Is it the Widowmaker or something like that?
Yeah, I have a bottle of that.
Is that the kind of ink you're into, that color? Or?
Yeah, that or what's it? Diamine, Oxblood is
Yeah.
good, and Mont Blanc Burgundy is good,
Okay.
and Pelican Edelstein's got a dark red, and Diamine's got a good brown. I think it's called golden brown. Mont Blanc toffee brown's hard to beat. And you know that's in my drawings. I can take one color and make whatever 50 or 100 different hues. That is one color of ink. That's Mont Blanc toffee brown. That's
Okay.
it.
All right, that's cool. Yeah.
People ask me, how do you do that? Make a video of you drawing. Well, that's kind of hard to do because what I do is I'm very picky about my ink. I've used this method since art college, or even before that, even middle school or high school. Some people use a eyedropper. I have more control over a syringe, and I will draw ink out of the bottle so I don't contaminate the bottle. I don't put a fountain pen in the bottle and draw ink out of it. I'll draw it out with a syringe and put it in an inkwell.
Okay.
I'll take another container and draw it out of that and put it in another container, a little glass container. And different inks take different amount of times. Leave the cap off, and it's going to evaporate and thicken up. There's my dark color. All right, the ink I put in the inkwell, put it in a sample bottle with the top on. So that's the same as in the bottle. There's my medium hue. Now I take a bottle of water and dip the brush in that with ink on it. There's my light hue. So that's how I get my range of hues, 50 different hues of the same color.
Okay.
That's how that's done. And that just, nobody showed me how to do that. That's just playing around with it. And that's what I was saying, just be creative. This is two colors of ink.
See, that's good looking there. Yeah, I like that color. Nice color.
That's a brown and a green. That's colorverse.
Okay.
That's all it is two colors. Everybody says, no, you've got green in there. No, you don't. You break it down. You break down the green, there's yellow in there. You break down the brown, there's yellow in there. You darken the green up or the brown up, you get right at chocolate brown or black, pretty much. But that's it. That's two colors of ink.
So there's one you did on Charlie Daniels. I've seen. You see?
I did one
Hendrix?
today. Yeah, I did one today. There's Charlie Daniels.
Look at that.
I've posted that on your group, and I think most other groups. I've done two on Charlie Daniels because I had so many people ask me to do Charlie Daniels. So there you go. I did two.
Awesome. Now, awesome. Yeah.
Here's Jimi Hendrix. I did him, I don't know, the other day.
Boy, that is just definitely kick it. Yeah.
That's just black and gray, basically. I think that's all I used on that. Kurt Cobain.
Okay, that's good looking too.
Um, this one, don't ask me because I threw everything at that. That's an Aborigine man.
And you know, I'm really digging that one. When I saw that, no, I really got into that.
That was
I,
everybody likes it.
yeah,
I wish somebody'd buy it.
it's
That'd be
different.
nice.
What, $5,000? Yeah.
No, it's not that. I'll cut you a deal. These are so easy to do. I can do these in like 2 minutes. That's one color. There's a
Wow.
purple and there's a yellow brownish color. But those are so easy to do. Anybody can do them. You don't have to have talent. You have to have water.
Not me.
People ask me to do stuff on Tomaway River paper. There's Tomaway River papers. Tomaway River white paper, just regular old Tomaway River.
Yeah.
There's a lionfish.
Beautiful.
There's a sea turtle.
Beautiful. Look at that. Yeah, love turtles. Yep.
That's your shimmer ink. I don't use shimmer inks in
turtle.
pens, but I use them on dip pens and brushes. There you go. I use several colors in that.
Look at that. Love it.
Everybody likes cheesecake. There you go.
There you go. Now I'm hungry for some cheesecake. All right. Yeah. Cool.
Nicholas Pong sent me a folded pen, and I tried it out. So that's 2 colors of Mont Blanc.
Okay.
Done with a folded pen. Now, when I was talking about archaeology stuff, this is the kind of stuff I have to do for work.
All right.
There's some more. You have to do diagrams and explain what it is. I'll do stuff like that for work. Okay. Artifacts. And there's a bigger one, a bigger drawing of a cannon. And this is like this is a treasure map. It's done off of differential global positioning system and the gamma intensity of a magnetometer. But if you know how to read it, it'll show you the debris field towards a shipwreck based on gamma intensity hits from a magnetometer. Gold bars, you have to be able to identify the stamps in the gold bars, what they mean. So you can incorporate artwork into a lot of things. Identification on silver bars. So there you go. People ask, people say, well, what's fountain pens have to do with archaeology? Everything. I have notebooks on everything. Everything has to be documented, and that's just it. Identified.
So tell me, what is your main line of work, your livelihood?
Anything that pays. I like doing artwork, and because of the pandemic, I was on a expedition off the coast of Georgia mid-March. We had to cut it short and come back. No kidding. We left, I think it was the 15th, got back like the 18th of March, and who knew we were going to be this long and this bad. And I've got stuff lined up for the rest of this year, but my archaeologist told me, you can't travel, you can't get a hotel, you can't go to a restaurant, you can't go in a grocery store and get anything you want. Nobody wants to fly. They got checkpoints at some state lines. So until that gets better, I'm coming to my office and doing artwork pretty much every day I can to sell it, and because I want to. And that's just it. And that's like I taught you about. And I mean, your videos are great. You like doing giveaways.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no joke, I hadn't counted them, but I got over 400, probably pushing 500 bottles of ink. Some I will never use. Some has never been opened. Some I got 5 bottles of the same color. I don't need that. So I thought, okay, let's do an ink giveaway.
Cool.
And let's do something that's never been done before. Let's give away 3 bottles But let's take it a step further. Let's give the winner their choice and choose. I think it's out of like 12 colors. I've got a whole shelf full of organic studio inks that I'm not using, and let's give away some of those because people have an ink giveaway and they've already picked. You get one bottle, they've already picked the color.
Yeah.
Let's let the winner pick,
Cool.
and let's not do one bottle. Let's do three.
All right.
And I bet after this, other people will follow suit. Other companies will step it up too, and that's great.
Yeah.
But no, Larry's fountain pens was the first, and let's make some lucky winner happy, and I'll ship it. If I can ship to where you are, I will ship. And Larry will get all the information and send it to me.
Right. Okay.
The bottles are brand new. They're 55 milliliter. There's Organic Studio Nitrogen, for example. They're full bottles. They've never been used. I've got other bottles which I made the sample cards out of, my personal bottles. But
let me let
let's get some ink away.
Mr. Announcer read off these inks real quick. Okay, so people, here are a list of inks that will be given away on Larry's Fountain Pen Review with Craig Williams. Thank you, sir, for doing this for me. You're the first ever that
no problem.
Thought about this. Even a great idea. So here we go, Mr. Announcer. Take it away.
Okay, and we're going to put the pictures up as I say them. These are all Organic Studio inks. This first one is Aristotle. This one is James Joyce. Here is one Manganese Blue Black. This one is L. Frank Baum. If you're not familiar with that name, he's the one who wrote The Wizard of Oz.
Number 4, okay.
This is Potassium Lavender.
5, all right.
Here is Nitrogen Royal Blue, which has a
Beautiful.
really nice sheen going on.
6 and beautiful, yes.
Here is Willow Green.
Good looking ink, yep.
This is Jules Verne Nautilus Blue.
Nice, settle ink.
Here is Arsenic Gray.
Interesting ink, it is.
This is John Hancock.
Look, yeah, it looks like a number 2 pencil, grayish maybe, or
Yeah, dark gray.
yeah, okay,
Here is Charles Darwin
okay. Hi, Charles.
and Walt Whitman. And that was it, okay?
And that was it on the list. Yes, yeah. So those are the list of inks that Craig will have to offer for the person that wins the giveaway. They can pick 3 of any of those, correct?
Right.
So what we're going to do is that when we post this video, I'm going to let people know the giveaway starts today. And the giveaway is going to run through. Today is Friday, Saturday.
5 minutes. Let's have 5 minutes. Get everybody to hurry up.
Oh, I like that. Oh, there's everybody done.
Let's step it up.
Wow, 5
5
minutes.
minutes.
Wow, don't get me started. I might do it. 5 minutes. Wow. I tell you what. Let's make it a quick giveaway. Why not? Why not? This one will end at our time on Sunday at 4 p.m. How's that?
That'll work.
4 p.m. I'm cutting it off here in Fort Worth, Texas. So that's about as quick as it's going to get. So, all right. So here's what you got to do. Now I'm going to let everybody know. What you need to do is send me your name and to my Gmail address, which is
LarryB0711@gmail.com.
all I need is your name. Now, remember, here's the problem. There are some countries that will not accept anything from the U.S. I think India is one of them. The virus is really heavy there. My pen pal letters are coming back. They're not accepting any mail from the U.S. I think Colombia is another one. I think I have a few more. So only if the countries that will accept it, then Craig can ship it to you. If not, 1,000 apologies. It's not our fault. So that's it. So again, if you want to enter the giveaway, if you want to choose the inks you want, then you need to email me at my Gmail email address and just give me your name. That's it. That's all I want is your name. Then at 4 o'clock, right here in Fort Worth, Texas, we will use a generator and we will get the lucky person who the winner. And then what I'll do is I'll contact the winner. The winner will send me the information. With that information, I'll send it to Craig, and then he will send you your 3 bottles of ink. Dang, that's a win-win, isn't it? Yeah.
That is.
So, okay, guys, this is the real deal. So this is a giveaway coming up right to you. Now, it's just not a video. It is a giveaway in a video with the man that is doing the giveaway for Larry's Fountain Pen Review. Can't beat that with a stick. So, hey, are y'all ready? So, let's go back to you now, sir. What do you do all day long? Paint?
Nothing. Yeah.
That is so wrong.
My studio,
wrong.
because I have moved, my studio is like 35 miles one way, so I don't come to it every day. But I'll do ship stuff out, do woodworking. It depends. On the phone, answering emails a lot, and really like today, if I got the time, what makes me happy is really to sit at this desk and let's knock a picture out. If nothing goes wrong, and usually it doesn't, just like the I don't know, the cheesecake. That took that's about 30, 45 minutes of work. Actual drawing, painting time. Yes, I took breaks, but actual pen to paper, usually I work very fast. Other stuff I'll never get finished. Some take longer, some or I have to do for books like this one.
Oh, look at that. I like that.
That's fountain pen.
Wow.
And like I said, thicken the ink up, which I took. People ask me, how'd you do the waves like that? It's very easy. I took thick white ink, do a little squiggly line on the wave, and then drug my finger across it. That's finger painting, but that's ink.
Huh. I'll be darned.
And that's just it. Get your fountain pens out, your ink, and play with them. That's the main thing. This one went to the government. Everybody got a copy of that in Dominican Republic, all the way up to Bill Clinton, I think it was, Hillary Clinton, all the way down both governments, U.S. and Dominican Republic, because we work with the Coast Guard, and this country, the U.S.'s Coast Guard, they know and they have to know where I am and what I'm working on.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's this country or another country.
Okay.
And I'm also working with that country's government. So there's more to it than people think, you know. And there's a lot to be involved. Even a small expedition like the one the other month in Georgia was a small expedition, but it takes months of preparation and planning. So when you get in the field, although I've done it for over 40 years, you still are professional and can get as much accomplished as possible, because everything's going to work against you. Weather, everything works against you. It's like outside construction work. You're always weather willing, depending on the weather.
Okay. So
especially when you're out in the ocean.
When you're doing your painting and you're using your fountain pen, are you using what type of paper for that?
Uh, I use everything. I use Tumaway River paper. I love my old favorite is my old faithful is Bristol board. I love Bristol paper, watercolor paper if it's not too absorbent. And I used your aunt, your bug on what's it, UPO paper? Yeah, that's the first time I ever used that paper, and that's really not a paper. It's like a plastic. It's non-absorbent. But I went to town on it. I didn't wait on those colors to dry. And I watched videos on YouTube, and they say you have to wait for it to dry. No, you don't. I was layering ink on top of that.
That came out
So,
gorgeous. Man, that came out. I mean, you kicked it right off the bat.
that's the first time I ever used that paper. And that's it. That's what I'm saying. And that's great paper. You can wash it off with water, be careful with it,
Right.
and reuse it. And so it's great. Just play with it. And that's the best teacher you can have is figure it out. That's what I do. Just try different things and see what works for you. It's the same thing with fountain pens. For me, the fountain pen thing, you're on a journey. And it's
Right.
all about same thing when I teach scuba diving. It's whatever works for you. What works for me might not work for you.
Right.
So it's all about whatever works for you. And that's the thing I'm looking for when when I'm looking for a fountain pen. It has to feel good in my hand. That's what counts to me.
Yeah.
Number one, it has to work. It has to write. But number two, it has to feel good in my hand so I can use it all day. Because I may have 3 or 4 or 5 drawings like I do now going at the same time. I mean, your aunt, for example, actually took me, I don't ever time myself. That probably actual drawing time took me about, I'd say, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Came out
And
brilliant.
start to finish, I'm done. And I do very little, if any, with mechanical pencil before I put the ink on. Sometimes I don't do any. Sometimes it's very little. Sometimes it's more than others. It depends on the drawing.
Huh. Well, let me tell you real quick on this bug. This is the grandson to the pin.
Right.
Yeah, he has been born. So this is the grandson. Yay! Ah! You really kicked it. I love the fountain pen on it. Yeah. Could I ever do it? Not in a million years. Nope.
Well, there's people I see every day doing artwork using a ballpoint pen that are phenomenal. I couldn't do that, and I'd love to see somebody do it because I'm intrigued by that. Am I going to try it? No, I don't like ballpoints. But
I even though I can't draw anything, people say, well, what do you do with fountain pens? Well, it's endless. You can do all kinds of things. You got to be creative. You got to think. It's easy. Just doodle. Yeah.
Right. You don't have to be able to draw. I'm telling you, these jellyfish and play with things, move them around paper with a letter opener. It doesn't matter. Just you can do more with ink and fountain pens than just write.
Right. Right.
And there you go. Sky's the limit. It's how creative you can be. And I try different papers when I'm doing artwork on a paper. I actually have 2 pieces of the paper, so I can test colors and ink on my sample paper, and I know exactly how it's going to look when I go to the real thing, the artwork. I know exactly how that ink's going to change. And people say, well, my ink doesn't look like yours. Well, you're not using the same kind of paper. You're not using the same size nib. And like when I'm doing a painting, like I thicken ink up or I thin it down with water. That's how I come up with the different hues of the same color.
So how do you thicken the ink up?
Put it in a sample bottle or another container and leave the top off, let it evaporate, let it thicken up.
Okay.
And then it's about the consistency of watercolor, and you use it like you get watercolor out of a tube. Use it. That's the way I use it. Then I can control how thick and how thin I want it. But there's my dark color once it's thickened up.
I'll be darned. Okay. Do you ever use, those artists they have hold it in their hand, they have all these inks, they put this ink on the board and they do this and then they paint. You ever do that kind of stuff, whatever that's called? You know what I'm talking about?
Palette.
Palette?
Yeah.
A palette? Yeah, I got one right here. Nobody gets junk email in the mail because I get it all. So I'll take the junk email and use the back of the envelope as a palette. There you go. That's my palette.
Oh, okay. I wonder all those things you get in your comic book thing, could use them.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm going to have to send you some, what we call palettes. He gets on his comic book collection, he gets these boards, whiteboards. He must have hundreds and hundreds of them.
I got some. I got a comic book collection. Yeah,
okay.
we'll talk later.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I'll hit the right thing. Well, look, times are getting ready. So, okay, folks, well, we're going to wind down here now and want to thank everybody for joining Craig and I on Larry's Fountain Pen today. And thank you again, Craig, for doing the giveaway on my channel. Man, thank you.
No problem. Glad I could do it.
All right, we will have to meet again offline and just kind of hang out and shoot the breeze, as they say.
That's fine.
All right, my friend. Well, we're out of here. Take care, my friend.